on, family? Preston's Paradise here with my boy Paulie Walnuts, man. And we are back. We're back. We missed last week's show. I had to get on a plane down to LA to see those Trojans beat up on those Wolverines in the Coliseum. I know my man Paulie was out there as well, man. How we feeling, Paulie, man? It's a big day today, brother. Big day today. You know why?
It's a big day today. You got us in. We got you in 31. We got you in 97. We knocked those streaks out, and we're about ready to knock. We're going to keep you from putting another streak on us today, folks. We're ready, man. What a great experience last weekend at the Coliseum. That had to be one of the greatest sports experiences of my life, hands down. Got to meet some amazing people, and we got the free towel as well.
We're in the air, baby. That starts today.
It starts today, man. It starts today. This is a huge game. This is where All-American awards are going to be rewarded if it come through for either side. This is make or break for Notre Dame, and this is huge for us as well. So we'll see how this ends up going, man. It's gonna be. It doesn't matter. One beautiful thing about this rivalry, and this is why I don't ever want to lose it. We could be one in something right now, or they can be one in something, and it doesn't matter because they're going to take the gloves off and they're going to go toe to toe until the last man standing.
Absolutely. No matter what, man. Like, I will always have hate in my heart for the colors, for the fan base. I really just despise Notre Dame, man. I was there a few years ago. You know, I'm not going to talk about that experience, man. But today, you know, my Trojan army that is in South Bend and that disgusting, city, that area that seems like, it feels like you're in Harry Potter, but like, the worst version of it. Hey, they're going to go in there today, get a victory, man. I'm feeling very hype about this. But let's talk a little bit about, the team bouncing back, man. The team bouncing back last week against Michigan. I'm going to kind of run through a couple things right now and then get your opinion. And then we got a guest coming in, man. We got a guest coming in from, the enemy side, but he's a good guy. My man Paulie checked him off, and I just spoke to him. He seems like he's a handsome young man as well. So we're going to bring this guy out here. We're going to see how he feels about his team coming into this rivalry today. But as we talk about, USC Michigan, man, and just, the bounce back that we saw, the response that we saw last week of, our guys, man, taking on the challenge, man. They were under a lot of scrutiny, under a lot of heat from, not only the national media, college football as a whole, but, people within our own fan base, our own media. We're kind of looking at USC, looking at this team and saying, hey, man, we're not improving. We're stepping back. We're seeing the same things that we've seen in this Lincoln Riley era of not being physical, of not, competing and punching the opponent in the mouth post that Illinois game. And we come out against Michigan, man, and we play Big Ten football. We punch them in the mouth. We hold them 13 points, 109 rushing yards, obviously sack adjusted. But we're just super happy, man, the way Jaden performs, right? 25 for 32, couple touchdowns. Obviously had the interception. And I'll be honest, man, I love what Jaden's doing. I think, his ability to bounce back from throwing those picks, from making those mistakes has been second to none. Over any other quarterback in the entire country. But in a game like we're going to see today, man, these are mistakes that cannot happen, right? No. Obviously, you had the unfortunate situation of Eli Sanders going down, Wayman Jordan going down with the ankle injury. He had surgery on that last week, and he will be back within the next, I think, 4 to 6 weeks on that. But the emergence, man, and I don't even want to say an emergence because King Miller has been a guy that was running the ball for more yards a clip than any of these backs throughout the entire season. And he has his breakout game, 18 carries, 158 yards. And Brian Jackson pops out. He's in street clothes because he's been, dealing with the injury. He pops out, scores a touchdown. He had 7 yards of carry. And the running backs, the offensive line, man, they just went to work, man. How are you feeling about those two groups? Last week against Michigan.
Just the way that they responded back with the physicality, the offensive line was able to just really prove to everyone out there that, I told you when I was sitting in the stands there and I had to do a double take. I actually had to look at the number again because I could not believe Justin did what he was doing on that side, man. I mean, and not only him, but Tobias and Banuelos and all of them, they were playing at an elite level, but Justin, though, I mean, he just like pretty much elevated himself. He looked like an NFL tackle out there, man. I mean, it was a dominant performance, and then the interior guys were just. And let's give some credit to the general coming in, and taking over this team and just really imposing his will out there. But the guys that were able to really, their backs were against the wall. And the funny thing is about our fan base is that everyone said that game was the make or break. Now everybody's saying this game is a make or break. The field goals constantly getting pushed and pushed. So once this game is decided, and if it's in our favor, which I think it's going to be, but once it's decided, let's give these guys a break for 1 week, please. That's all I'm asking for. Please, let's give them their props that they deserve, because and even if they do go out, you know what? I want us to go out without a fight. I mean, I want us to go down with a fight and just go down swinging and being able to really go toe to toe with these guys. They bullied us around a little bit last year, and we still hung with them. You remember Pregnon laying on his back over there like some beached whale over there getting punched in the face and didn't do anything about it? That won't happen this year with the group of guys that we have. It's a completely different culture. It's a different vibe. And you know what? It was on display last Saturday against Michigan, and I was so proud. One of my most proud moments I've ever had in my years of watching USC football.
Absolutely, man. The environment was incredible. I hadn't been on campus in 10 years. It was spectacular, man.
God, wasn't it?
One of my greatest. It's just magical. And I said it would be magical going into it, but it truly was, man. Packed stands, everybody vibing together. It was beautiful, man. Yeah. And you talked about Justin T. We were on the phone yesterday, and I'm watching the game. I get back home. I get on the flight back home. I'm rewatching the game, and you heard so many times from USC fans, from all types of people. Oh, when USC trots out there in pregame, we look so much smaller, so much skinnier than the opposing teams. We're not ready to compete at this level, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking at that game. I'm seeing Justin T, Big Uso. He's towering over every Michigan defensive lineman, bro. I'm out there, I'm flexing. I'm like, yo, my man Justin T out here, like, we are ready, bro.
You were ready.
In the offseason, I've been saying it, bro. This team is Big Ten ready, bro. But the biggest test is today against Notre Dame, right? Because if any team, kind of overpowered, kind of dominated us at a certain level last season, it was that Notre Dame game. It was that Notre Dame game last year in the Coliseum, because we strictly couldn't stop the run, and they won, in the trenches in that game. And it was a close game. We had chances. Maybe we do win that game, right? If we don't have those interceptions, those pick sixes late. But it started in the trenches, and that was why we fell in that game. But last week, the defense, right? Yep. Love, and I talked about it in the preview, man. I want to see more linebackers out there. We clamored. Me and you both clamored for a guy like Jaden Walker, man. How physical he's played.
Well, great kid.
Throughout his first opportunities of the season, even out there, he made plays. We probably saw Desmond Stevens' best game of the season, all over the place, getting through the line of scrimmage, making tackles in the backfield. And
he was.
Yeah, and the secondary, man. What a game! Obviously, Carlos, he gives up one TD, but making big plays. No PIs. Smart football, knocking the ball down, challenging the ball when it gets in the wide receiver's hands. DeCarlos had a great game, and Marcellus Williams, man, consistent, good game from the secondary last week. And our guy, Bishop Fitzgerald, once again, 2 interceptions, 5 on the season, man. Kamari was flying around. How'd you feel about the defensive group?
The defensive group is what I told you. I said, so every so often, when I go to a live game, I lock on a couple players. I'll lock on them for a while. And I locked on Nicholson and Sellis and Fitzgerald, that secondary. I really locked on each player. And what I saw from Nicholson is I saw him putting his heart out there, man. He was laying it on the line. The guy we all know he's not Rod Woodson. Stop, everybody, okay? We're thinking that, he has to be perfect. He's not perfect. If he makes a mistake, the kid owns up to it and is out there giving his heart and soul. He's a father, man. Let's give this guy some respect here. The guy's out there with those long arms, really battling with that one receiver. Was it McCauley? I can't remember which receiver it was. And also, there was just Salas. They were working really good as a unit. But what I saw from Bishop is I saw not only the ball hawking skills that he has, but the ability to be disruptive in the backfield. If you notice, a couple of times he was there on blitzes, and the guy just really played at a great level, man. He really opened my eyes. I watched an interview with him the other day, and I just like everything about him. I really do. And he's continuing to trend more and more. And that's where I think he's going to be. Obviously, we'll get to it later on in the show here, but that's going to be one of my impact players.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Kristen, what's up, bro? I see you in the comments talking about no super chat. I don't know if you're on Polly's channel. I know we're multi-streaming. If you're, you might be on Polly's channel. On my channel, there should be a super chat option, and then obviously me and this guy break bread. So that's the only thing. But it should be working. If you're in my stream, we should have any issue with that. But let's get to the lunch pails for last week, right? Obviously coming off that big victory. And my lunch pails, I mean, easy money. Gotta go with my man King Miller, man. This is a guy that I have the utmost confidence in. I mean, he was rushing the ball more yards per carry, even in camp, right? Lincoln Riley went and said that this guy, had the most yards per carry of all the backs that we have on the roster. Devin Tompkins, man, I thought he stepped up, made a bunch of big plays, was fiery. He was kind of like the guy that you saw leading the team in that bye week, and you saw him in the press conference, just kind of talking about we got to be better. We got to, we got to take it from practice to the game, and we can't have the repeats of the stuff that went down in Illinois. And yeah, man, we took care of business, obviously. And you talked about linebackers, but I guess I just put the linebackers. We both agreed on that.
Yeah, we both agree on that one.
I put the names on there. You could even throw Gentry in there, but these guys, whether it was Desmond Stevens, Jaden Walker, those are really the guys that we saw elevate their game in this game. Obviously, Gentry was impactful and consistent as well. Yeah. But talk about it.
No, I could see immediately. I mean, I'm starting to notice the impact of Rob Ryan when it comes to these guys. They're just becoming more well-rounded. They know their roles, and they're starting to really look comfortable out there. And that's one thing about these linebackers. I told everyone before the year started, the impact of Rob Ryan will be huge for us, especially towards the end of the season here. God willing, we end up come on, Chris. Come on. Look at that.
Chris in the building, bro. Shouts out to you.
That's it, Chris. I get an egg McMuffin today this morning, Chris. Thank you.
Sir. You already know, bro. Shouts out to Chris, man. Shouts out to 4th and 9 in victory.
Thank you.
4th and 9 in victory, right? Yeah. We're gonna talk about that a little later.
Yeah,
bro.
We're gonna talk about that a little later because I'm gonna be making these guys are amazing. I'll be making a guest appearance on that show today. We're gonna be watching the entire game with these guys. But anyway, so yeah, the linebacking unit, they're just starting to come in their own. The offensive line, it's funny because coach goes unnoticed, and a lot of these coaches go unnoticed. I mean, our running back coach, our offensive line coach. I mean, you look at Savage over there. You look at all these guys out here that no one ever gives kudos to. And let's give some props to Coach Reed, too, for helping out and balking them and turning that secondary around last week when their backs were up against the wall. Every Trojan fan wanted them fired for the most part. And you know what? Look at what they did. They showed us what they were capable of doing. And hopefully, I'm praying we're going to keep it up and continue to play at that high level again today, Preston.
Yeah, and I see Daniel Garcia in the chat, talking about. I agree with you. Notre Dame is definitely have a more lethal passing attack. I mean, we're gonna bring up our guy in a second. He's gonna kind of give us a rundown of what they could do on the offensive side of the ball. But yeah, man, I agree with Paulie and my man here. In fact, that we are trending in the right direction. That is all you can ask for after the performance that we saw against Illinois, which was a terrible performance. But I said, man, there's no way this team is gonna play like this again. And we've continued to trend upward. The DBs seem to be, playing with better technique, making plays on the ball. Love to see it, man. Hopefully that continues today.
And Dan, to jump on Daniel's comment there, it's Daniel. The one thing that makes me really feel like we stand a chance in today's game is because of the way we were able to go. Even though they kind of took it to us in the trenches, we were still able to go toe to toe with them, and really have a chance to win that game. To be honest with you. Jaden passed for 300-something yards, and then we just were able to kind of put points up, and we were able to hang with him. And I honestly think last season's team was a little stronger than this season, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Notre Dame, but we'll find out. Yeah, we'll talk to our boy here in a second.
All right, man. So we're gonna get to it, man. We got a friend from Henry Lions, the Paulie Walnuts. I'll let you do the intro here. We got our buddy coming on here, man.
Yeah, so I got my buddy Sancho Panza. I've known him for years. He's been a Notre Dame fan for 40-something plus years. And the guy is, when it comes to Notre Dame football, not just Notre Dame football, we talk USC football all the time. Great guy. And this is Mike. I think your. I don't know if your mic is
Mike
muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
Yeah, right there. So, there you go, Sancho.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Sancho. So anyway, this guy's amazing. Look out for Sancho's going to be having some content out here soon. We've been talking about getting him a golf show, and also he's going to be working with me on some baseball content that we got coming out. And yes, Chris, we'll talk about the Padres for you as well. So Sancho, really quickly getting into it. Obviously, you've met Preston already. We want to talk about today's game. And what are your thoughts when it comes to Notre Dame and USC, how they match up? Is it going to be something equivalent to last year where we're going to go toe-to-toe, bomb for bomb, or is it going to be more of a defensive type of effort?
I think this game is going to look different than last year in the sense that Notre Dame's strength has always been in the trenches. And without their starting center this week, without their starting defensive tackle this week, Notre Dame is really going to have to drive the ball and maintain those drives. They're struggling in short yardage this year, which is not something we typically see from a Notre Dame team. When you're 50% on third and fourth downs with less than a yard to go, that is a drive stopper, and that is just not something we typically see from a Notre Dame team. So I think in terms of comparison to last year, I think this game is going to be a bit more of a grind, and Notre Dame's going to have to make USC grind. They're going to have to shut down Lemon. They're going to have to – the secondary, the last time they saw anything this good was against Texas A&M, and we don't have to talk about how that game ended. We know that Texas A&M was able to move the ball on them without an issue. And so, covering Lemon is going to be the key to this. But if Notre Dame can force USC to limit the big plays and force them to grind, because USC is also struggling in the red zone, 55% conversion rate in the red zone, a touchdown conversion rate inside the 20 on the road for USC this year. That's a marker for Notre Dame that they're going to have to make them earn those yards and earn those drives.
Yeah, you got it, dude. And then another thing too. I just wanted to add in there, as far as Freeman goes and his development of quarterbacks, especially, I mean, these transfers he had Riley Leonard last year, and everybody's talking about Carr being the next one. I mean, where do you see? Well, I mean, is it going to be really a big difference than what we saw last year with Riley Leonard, or was Riley a little bit more polished than Carr? What do you think on that?
I think where the progression of Riley Leonard compared to the progression of Carr has been a little bit different. Riley Leonard came in polished, and so I think those struggles that Notre Dame had early in the year were very dependent on CJ Carr coming into the program. I mean, the two losses Notre Dame does have were minus what Miami did last night. Cristobal went Cristobal last night, but after what Miami has done and Texas A&M, those are part of the schedule, but those against good teams. Now they're seeing the schedule kind of ease up a little bit. The NC State, we've gotten into some softer part of the schedule. Carr is showing what he can do, but I also think this is going to be this is Notre Dame's first big test since Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If I can sneak something into you.
Yeah, you go right ahead.
Definitely talked about Makai Lemon. Now we hear Marcus Freeman kind of come out and say there's a possibility that Moore may go ahead and shadow Lemon, and because we obviously know Moore is more of an outside cornerback, not really a guy that's played in the slot at the cornerback position. Is that something that you see actually happening today, or do you think he may remain outside, maybe match up with a guy like a Jacoby Lane or one of our other receivers?
I know Marcus Freeman had spoken on that specifically earlier this week, and one of the things he said was, while that's a possibility, putting Moore on Lemon specifically, one, it sounds reasonable, but it does open up other USC targets because it changes the dynamic of the secondary. And so changing your entire secondary, game plan, everything for one game, while doable, is it going to open up, if that is done, what's going to happen with Jacoby Lane, McCray, those other guys that are still game. I mean, while Lemon is the dominant force, let's be honest, it's USC. They have wide receivers. You have an athletic tight end. You have a good running back. Shifting everything to stop one person, I don't know if that's a long-term solution to a game plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then also too, just on a lighter note, Ron. I just for the USC fans out there, just to kind of give them a little something. And all your years of watching Notre Dame football, if you had to smack two Notre Dame players around, which two Notre Dame players would they be? The two most annoying players in the history of Notre Dame football. I'm going Jimmy Clausen and Ron Paulus. Who are you going?
Jimmy Clausen had his moments. Brady Quinn had his moments. And if I could slap
yeah,
someone,
I forgot about him. Charlie Weiss.
Charlie Weiss, man.
Let's be honest. That entire Belichick coaching tree is not exactly sprouting like the Shanahan one. So, anyone from the Charlie Weiss folks, I'm not a big fan of. But player-wise, yeah, Jimmy Clausen had his moments.
So you've been to Notre Dame before. You've experienced a game there, and you've been there, and so how big of I mean, I don't know what the weather report is. I didn't check it this morning, but they said there was a chance of rain maybe. But all in all, though, I mean, do you really think the impact is going to be as much as people are making it out to be? I mean, what are we? 10-point underdogs now? I think it is. It just keeps going up and up, and I don't know why it keeps rising like that. But do you really think that it's going to play such a huge role in today's game?
Not necessarily, because if weather were going to be that much of a factor, then I think it would be impacting USC much later in the season as well.
Yeah.
I think the weather is supposed to be a relatively balmy, decent 60-some degrees at kickoff in South Bend, and so no, it's going to be Midwest football weather, but it's what we get this time of year. I don't think it should play an impact. And the Notre Dame surface is it's an artificial surface. It is not it's always kept in wonderful condition. So I don't think the playing field should have a significant impact today, or the conditions.
Yeah, if you notice here, Ron, I got my Rudy Rudiger, anti-Rudy Rudiger jacket I've been wearing here, so hopefully it'll bring me some good luck. And I know it's funny because I took some heat from Preston here because I had Rudy as one of my favorite sports movies, and I told him the only reason I even like the movie is when Coach says, "If you had half the hottest Rudiger, you would have been All-American." That's the only part I like.
Sancho, let me ask you. No, you can go ahead.
Real quick, Rudy is one of the greatest frauds ever portrayed on the Cinematic America, because that whole scene where they go in and throw their jerseys on his desk was never happened, and two, I was a huge fan of that head coach. He was a good Notre Dame coach, and that movie made him look like an ass.
Yeah, they did. And then really quickly, Preston, I think that was the year, the Rudiger year, Preston, was the year where Joe Montana lit us up. But then they came out with Digger Phelps, the basketball coach, was probably one of the biggest idiots out there trying to rile the team up, calling us spoiled children, everything. And then they rolled out the Trojan horse out of the tunnel. I think that was the year. Then that was it, man. And then they beat us they just destroyed us, dude, that game. But
that was also the first green jersey game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So anyway, Preston, sorry to jump in. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, just another question about one of your guys here. Tuli Alamaka, right? This was a guy on the defensive side of the ball that I saw, make a bunch of plays when you guys were on the playoff run last season. When I kind of was doing my research, it seems like he had only played in 3 games. Is he out? His production hasn't been as high as I saw last season. Is he hurt or something like that? What's the deal with him?
Honestly, Preston, that is a good question. I am not sure on his status. I wish I had an answer for that one, but I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay.
No. He froze up on it. Oh, there he is. Yeah, Ron. It's just I look at this defensive line. I mean, Sancho, but I look at the defensive line in the trenches, and that the player that you guys lost. How big of an impact is that in today's game?
That's going to be huge. Marcus Freeman, that would be Gabe. Oh God, I had his name written down.
Rubio.
Yeah, Gabe Rubio. Sorry, defensive tackle is out, and so in that case, unlike having a specific person to come in and fill that gap, Marcus Freeman's plan with that is to just increase the frequency of the defensive tackle rotations, and so getting the fresh bodies in and out is going to be the key to that. However, losing his impact as a senior, losing his impact and experience, and he's also just, again, that senior leadership locker room guy. So while his presence on the sideline is obviously beneficial, his presence on the field is going to be felt. And so shutting down, clogging up the middle and shutting that down is going to be a task that the rest of the defensive line is going to have to embrace.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
Do you think that the defense last season was slightly better than what you guys are doing on the defensive side of the ball this season? Or how do you feel that last year's defense kind of stacks up to this year's defense?
I think last year was the stronger defense. Again, I think that the dominance up front, the physical nature up front is different, and then the coverage just is not the same. Again, with what with what Texas A&M was able to do to this secondary, the fact that Devontae Smith, Carson Hobbs, Dallas Gordon have all had time so far this year at that nickel cornerback position, and have had success when against again the NC States and folks, but this is going to be the test. And so yeah, I think that secondary is going to be the question.
Yeah, because they did lose Watts, right? Xavier Watts last year, and he was probably that was their one NFL type prospect they had back there, their toughest guy. But yeah, I'm curious to see how it matches up. The way I see this, and then we'll let you get on your way here, Ron. But the way I see this playing out, and because I'm not trying to be the biggest homer of all time, but I just think these games, you never know, they're so unpredictable. But in my mind, and what I hope that's going to fall into place is that I hope Jaden has his All-American moment where he comes out and plays a great game. We go up by a touchdown and a field goal, and we have Notre Dame playing from behind. That's what I'm hoping the way the game goes. Now, you know, to your point, it could go the other way, grinding it. And you know what? I'm okay with that. With King Miller, the kid that we have, he's him and Brian Jackson, the running backs that we have. I think we're okay with a grinded out type of battle as well. I don't know what you think about that, Preston.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I got my prediction from the game. We'll talk about that a little later in the show. We can do it now before Sancho gets out of here. But it's a 7-point game for me. This is not gonna be an easy game. It's gonna be a test for both teams. There's things to exploit for both teams. Both teams have weapons, good quarterbacks, good running backs, and it's going to come down to the trenches, man. You got guys on defensive lines that can make plays as well. Two solid offensive lines as well. So it's a pretty even matchup, man. I'm excited. I think this will go down as one of the better games of the series, above the rivalry. Hopefully, it's not the last one. You gotta
exactly.
see what happens with that in the next few years. But I'm hyped, man. And I want to ask you a question. Kind of just leading up to all that. Your thoughts on Marcus Freeman? Obviously, you guys, get to the national championship last year. Do you have faith? Is this a coach that you believe can, rally up you guys to win a national championship one day?
Absolutely. I think keeping the hire in-house when they did was an amazing move. I think we all saw that video when they announced Marcus Freeman as the head coach. And so him, the way the players responded, it's a perfect fit. I heard him recently. He was on Dan Patrick earlier this week, and him talking about how he brought his wife there when he got the job as the defensive coordinator. Most beautiful campus I've ever seen. He was talking about still getting out and walking the campus and still being blown away that he is the head coach at Notre Dame. Now, I know they all have to say that on a certain level, but I truly believe that he is the right guy for Notre Dame. And I believe that he is the one that can lead them, and more importantly, lead them through the transition, because I don't think Notre Dame is going to look the same in 5 years. I think college football is going to look different. And while Notre Dame has always been heavily focused on their independence and what that allows them to do on a national level, at some point, college football is going to become bigger than that. And I think Notre Dame is going to have to join, whether it's a conference or a league or something. But I think Marcus Freeman is not only the right person to lead the team, but lead them through that transition.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you that, Ron. I was going to ask you about when is it finally going to get to a point? Well, first of all, rumor has it that Penn State's coming hard for him. And, obviously he says he didn't want to talk about it till after the season. Usually when a coach says that means there's still some type of, hope out there that he's going to listen. But Penn State definitely might come hard, and I'm hoping they do because I don't want to lose Danton Lynn. Anyway, our defensive coordinator. But anyway, but I think he's a great coach, solid coach. But one thing about it though is I'm wondering are they finally going to give up their independence and just realize, that we need to jump in a conference somewhere. And what conference do you think would best be suited for Notre Dame and their football program?
I think ties to the ACC will obviously they'll probably land in the ACC. Things I've heard is that Notre Dame would prefer going into the Big Ten. I have a funny feeling that at some point the SEC is gonna gobble up the Big 12. The Big Ten is gonna gobble up the ACC, and we're gonna have those two are gonna be our two major conferences. Yep. So I think just respective to where they're located, I think the Big Ten is the ultimate landing spot. Again, I don't know if it's gonna be called the Big Ten at that point or what it's gonna look like, but I think change occurs when one of two things happens. Well, change occurs when not changing starts costing or hurting too much. When the money becomes an issue. When Notre Dame, because under the current format, Notre Dame can't host a home playoff game. They will never be able to host a home playoff game as long as they're an independent, which means they will always having to be play in that first round game. They will never get a bye. And so because of that, and then when the money gets to a point where, hey, we can make more money doing this, what have we seen in college football? At this point, money is the driving factor.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, Preston, where I always feel it's going to be two mega conferences. Eventually it'll be the SEC and then whatever the Big Ten becomes, and then we'll kind of go from there. But anyway, do you have any other questions for Sancho?
Nah, man, I got nothing else to say. Anybody in the chat have anything they want to say to our fellow friend here from the other side?
Yeah, no, we got people trying to make comments.
You guys have to say. Give me some feedback.
Super Max in the chat. Fight on.
Oh, look at that. Fight on. But you know what, Ron? Okay, one last question, a funny one. Worst coach all time in the history of Notre Dame football. Is it Willingham or is it Bob Davie? Or Charlie Weiss?
Are we looking at Bob Davie?
How about the biggest buffoon? How about that?
Following the legend never works. Tyrone Willingham, as much as that guy gets a short, doesn't get the credit he did for what he did at Stanford. I will absolutely, if I had one buffoon, would be Bob Davie.
Yeah. Hey, really quickly, Ron, and we Dubs TV wants to know, how do you feel about the Bush push?
Getting mad about the Bush push now is like when we look back and see players were getting suspended or kicked out of school for receiving $10,000 when they're getting millions. Look at what the Eagles are doing with the brotherly shove. So going back and getting hooked up on that. And if you go back and watch that game, there was a 4th and 9 that USC converted on that drive. So as much as the Bush push was an issue, they let that occur, and there was a 3rd down that got them down to the goal line that if Reggie Bush hadn't converted, would have forced them to kick a field goal earlier and change the entire dynamic. So as much as the Bush push is what we focus on, that wasn't Notre Dame's problem that afternoon.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I got you. Absolutely. I got you. Well, anyway, Sancho, thank you so much for joining us, man. You did a great job.
Thank you, man.
Great job, Sancho. I love it.
You want to get a prediction? Are we going to get
let's get a prediction, Sancho.
Yes, sir, man. How you feeling about the game tonight?
I've got it about, I'm thinking, let's see, like 30-24. I think it's going to be about a 6-point game. I got Notre Dame setting a tone, and they have been better in the second half all season. So if Notre Dame goes in with a tied ball game or down by a touchdown, I think it's still reasonable. But if USC goes in with a 2-touchdown lead at half because they've been able to get some big plays, I don't think Notre Dame, with those line concerns, with those issues, can play from behind. But if Notre Dame can jump out ahead and dictate some pace, I think Notre Dame's going to pull it out. I'd say, again, 30-24.
All right. Let's see, man. I can't be too mad at that prediction, man. But we're gonna see what happens.
We're gonna see what happens, Sancho. Thank you so much, man, and definitely, man, I appreciate your time and you did an amazing job today, man. I'm really proud of you, bro.
Appreciate you for coming through, man.
Yeah, thank you for being a great friend as well.
Thank you for having me on. I'll be on anytime you want, and I'll get some socials out to you guys. We'll start getting some content out.
Yeah, and then remember 4th and 9 today. I told you, like, during the game, you know, we can you can call in and we can talk to B Jinx and the guys over on that show as well, dude. So I'll get you the link to that one. I'll give you a call here later on. All right.
You got it, brother.
So
Sounds
thank
good.
you, Sancho.
Thank you,
Sancho,
gentlemen.
take care.
Enjoy the
We'll
game.
see you.
man. All right, man. Our man Sancho came through with the fire. You know what I'm saying? That was good to discuss. Let's let me work this around here. My man Walnuts up here. Shouts out to Dwayne, man. Thanks for reposting.
Wow, Dwayne, thank you. Fight on, Dwayne.
My guy.
My boy Raul's out there.
Media, boy Raul's beat the Irish.
Super Max 1, 2, 3, 4. I fight on. Good to see you on here.
Yes, sir. What is Duff saying? Would you take the ball or defer to the second half if you win or lose a toss? Good question. I don't know if that was for Sancho, but how do you feel about this, man? Because like the ability to start fast that's the fight for me. Do you want it? I'll say it today, man. I mean, we're leading up to this game. I don't think any defense in the country is going to be able to stop us on the offensive side of the ball, man. And I have nothing but faith in our O-line and this offense, man. If you got the ability to start fast, then I say we get it going, baby, because I got faith in the defense too.
I honestly, I like it when we set the tone and we come out and we put that pressure on them immediately. Because it just goes to show them, even if we strike it down and even get a field goal out of it, the point is we show them that we can move the ball on them without hesitation, and that's what I want.
Yeah. And we talked about the game. You know, we're kind of get into some more fun topics having to do with USC and Notre Dame here. But there's a couple light keys and some things that I want to focus on. I think that USC needs to do in order to come out victorious in this one, right? Coming into that Illinois game, talked about Killian O'Connor, really truly playing his first road game at the center position. And I thought he did a great job, obviously, until he went out with the injury, which was super unfortunate. Mm-hmm. But, the fact that a guy like John Ray Reed was able to step in that game on the road and, had about one, mistake that, everybody kind of harped on. But nonetheless, performed pretty well, had a good center to quarterback exchange, blocked, looked excellent last week, as well as the entire offensive line unit in that Michigan game. This is going to be very big for Jean-Ray Reed here today, right? Stepping in on the road with the noise, with the pressure against Notre Dame, against their defensive line. I think he is very important today. The communication, being loud enough, making sure everybody's on the same page as a unit, as an offense, calling the protections, knowing what's going on the road is going to be very big. So I think that's a big key. Obviously taking care of the ball. Talked about earlier, Jaden only has two interceptions on the season.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And, you don't want to be too hard on the kid, but primarily, man, we saw in that Illinois game as well, man. And this is the entire offense, whether it's the tight ends, whether it's the running backs, the quarterbacks. We have to take care of the football, man. Winning the turnover battle in today's game could be the difference between a victory and a loss, man. Last time I was in I was in South Bend 2 years ago. Caleb threw an interception early in the game and flew over Lake McCree's head, and then the energy just got going, man. So we have to take care of the ball. That is huge. Tackle, obviously tackle. I think the key in stopping the run, they got Jadarian Price, and this was a question I probably should have asked Sancho. I wanted to get his opinion on it as well. But Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love, man, I think Jadarian Price at times can be a lot more lethal than Jeremiah Love, man. He seems a lot more consistent. He's
physical.
Physical. He's also somebody that could get you in that return game, in that kick return game. So I think the number that we need to kind of hold these guys to is 130 yards, man. If we can hold these backs to 130 yards or below in this football game today, then I think we can definitely come out victorious. Love the heavy box. We saw Carlos Jones on the field. A lot of those bigger bodies on the defensive line of the ball to clog up those holes and keep those gaps tight. Prevent those guys from getting through those gaps. I think we're going to continue to see that today. And having those three linebackers back there, man. And offensive side of the ball, as long as, we keep the penalties to a minimum. That was also another thing that we saw last week, right?
Last week was great. Great.
Like what? A couple penalties on the offensive side of the ball. That's really it. And I think that's just what we got to keep going, man. I think the DBs are trending upwards. I think safety play is going to be huge today. With Kamari and Bishop kind of flying around back there making plays and kind of giving our corners some support, dealing with a talented wide receiver group. And wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, quarterbacks, just be you, man. Nobody's been able to stop you all game. Be you and keep it going, man.
Keep it going. And the one storyline, and I was talking, B Jinx and I were on the phone last night, and it's a storyline that we're not bringing up enough, and maybe he likes it that way. Yeah. But it's the return of Chad Bowden to Notre Dame, and I know this team loves this man. They want to do everything they can to make him proud and to get out there and perform, and they want to win this for him. And I know he probably, it doesn't matter. It's somebody, just another, it's not. There's a lot riding on this, and we know it. The fans know it. The players know it. We all know it. And we want this win for him. He's a big reason of why, we're finally seeing the light, at the end of the tunnel here. We're getting close, and he's a big part of this movement. And I really want to get this victory for him.
Yo, 11.5 exactly.
Yeah, the disrespect.
Yo, I gotta make my bet. I gotta make my bets, bro. I gotta cook up my parlay, bro. I was supposed to do that yesterday. It's 11.5 right now. I'm about to make money, bro. We about to go crazy tonight on all fronts, man. We're going.
Wow, crazy. The disrespect is real, man. Oh my Lord.
11.5.
Wow,
insane, bro. I gotta cook up something right now. This is making me mad.
Oh, hey, Chris. Chris says I gotta. Hey, the Rocky Balboa boy. hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, Paulo. There you go, Chris. That's for you, man. But I really feel that our tight ends are a matchup nightmare for linebackers. They really are. And so I think that's going to give them a lot of fits today. The running game, as a matter of fact, is I'm curious to see. I want to see if Dalton can give us that one freshman moment where he can come out and make a big 20-yard run and kind of keep that momentum going if he gets the opportunity. But B-Jack, I really hope I want a big game for him. I really do. Yeah. And so that's but the disrespect is real. And I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you, Dubs TV. I'm getting fired up right now. Let's go. I'm ready to knock my neighbor through the sheetrock wall over here right now. I'm getting fired up. Let's do this. Is crazy. 11 points?
Hey, I'm telling you right now, I'm cooking up this parlay right now.
Right now.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, bro. I was about to start cursing out people on Twitter yesterday because I've been putting the content on Twitter. You can follow me on Fight Out Pressing on Twitter. I've been going crazy with the content leading up to this game. The disrespect is, I hate the Leprechauns with all my heart. And, bro, I was about to start cursing out Leprechauns on Twitter. But I was like, you know what? Let me save it, bro. Let's save it until Saturday night, bro.
Yeah, Saturday night
goes down in front of the college football world. Let's save it, man. That's how much faith I got in my boys. That's how much faith I got in my Trojans, bro.
Yeah. I honestly feel, and I'm putting it out there just like I did. I think we come out, we score them, we go up by a touchdown and a field goal, and we keep that pressure on them. That's what I want. I want us to make them come and play from behind. And and our offense is playing they're like at a juggernaut level right now. They're playing elite football when it comes. I haven't seen anything like this in a long time. Can I tell you, be honest with you? And one of my boys laughed at me when I said this. The last time I saw an offense this explosive was the Rams in St. Louis with Kurt Warner and Mike Martz and them.
Greatest show on turf.
That's the last time I saw an offense this explosive, dude.
Yeah, I hear you. I believe it. So okay, let's we're gonna keep it going, man. This offense is cooking. Let's get to our impact players for today's game. I'm gonna start right. Like, we'll see what happens with Moore. We'll see. Hey, at the end of the day, bro, we're not fearing nobody. I'm not fearing nobody. Anybody can get touchdowns today, man. Walker Lyons may have 2 touchdowns when it's all said and done today. But I got Jacoby Lane on the offensive side of the ball. We saw him get a little busy with the the little red zone TD last week. But I think he goes crazy. I mean, this is a guy that had 3 touchdowns against Notre Dame last year. I think Moore might have been, covering him on a couple of those, man. If my memory is correct,
he had a great game.
But he went crazy last year against Notre Dame. And Kamari Ramsey, man. Kamari Ramsey's been silently, being consistent. making plays, helping these DBs out, and kind of just is hovering, communicating there on the back end. But he's another guy, man. I think he makes a big play in today's game. So those are my impact players for today.
And what better example for his teammates than to be able to set his personal goals aside and be able to, for the sacrifice of the team, and to be able to come out there and help these young kids when they were getting ripped by the media, they were backs against the wall, confidence was probably shattered, and Mr. Ramsey, one of my favorite players of all time. I mean, I love him. And this is the reason why, and it's his faith that he has, and his dedication to the sport and to his teammates. There's no better player, no better all-around player than Kamari Ramsey. But I got Harry Dalton. And the one reason is I'm not, everybody says, well, he's a freshman. I'm not asking for him to, I'm not saying we need him to take over and dominate the whole game, but give us one of those Quentin Joyner type of runs where he can maybe break off a 20 here or catch a ball out of the backfield and really kind of give that spark that we need at a time during the game. But Bishop Fitzgerald to me is this game's kind of setting up for him to make an impact at some point in the game. I look for him maybe to take advantage of Carr's youth and inexperience, and somehow he has a nose for the ball. It's a God-given talent. There's not too many guys that have that. There's another guy that we have that's sitting on this team. His name is Marquise Gallegos. That's probably the only guys I've seen on tape that has that nose for the ball to be able to pick balls off the way Bishop does. So you know what? Man, that's it. Let's go. I'm getting fired up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He brought out that Sierra Canyon ball hawk, you know what I'm saying?
Let's
go. We got ball hawks all across America. I was talking to Kamari Ramsey's dad last week, man. He was fired up. He got the victory like me. Kamari Ramsey's father was fired up last week.
Yeah, let's go.
Crazy, bro. Like, hey, Bishop Fitzgerald, ball hawk. These guys are making plays today.
Yeah. Love it.
So impact players, man. Now, mid-season, I think, are we in technically week 8 or week 7? I don't know. It's confusing because we had a bye. I think this is technically week 8, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
0. Yeah, off of week 0.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna do our little mid-season All-American list, man. And Paulie, I'm gonna throw yours up here.
Yeah. I'll knock it out rapid.
Some of your guys
rapid fire.
Are balling out throughout the entire country right now.
Yeah, these are some guys that we wanted to I mean, obviously, I would have all Trojans on here because that's how much I love my team. But you know what? The reason I do have these Trojans on here is because I see by the end of the year where they're going to be. And you look at Jaden Mayava, the improvement, two interceptions this entire season. I mean, what an improvement. And you got to love a kid for his resiliency, his being able to bounce back and being able to take the role on as a leader of one of the greatest institutions in all of college sports. And then we got Mr. 29, Ahmad Hardy, who, to me, this guy was a one-star player. They had to beg teams to take him. And you know what he's done? He's proven to be one of the best running backs in college football with those tree trunk legs, his ability to make people miss, his physicality, and also, too, it just people aren't able to tackle him. For some reason, he just has that God-given ability where people just slide right off of him. And you know what? It's the will to win. Those low-level 2-star, 3-star guys that we all want, we don't want any part of, usually because we want the 5 stars. Those are the guys like him, Mr. number 29, Hardy, great player. Mekhi Lemon, the one, I mean, let's just say the best receiver in college football. I don't even say anymore. You guys know it. Yeah, and then by the end of the season, mark my words, I slowly am seeing the emergence of Mr. Walker Lyons, folks. This guy is starting to just elevate his game more and more each game. You're seeing him make those big catches, those beautiful hands, that beautiful route running. He does need to improve in his blocking, but let me tell you what, the kid is just all in when it comes to being part of this Trojan team. Mr. Devin Tompkins, another example of a guy that no one believed in, a guy that people just had tossed around. He's too small. Look at him, man. He looks like me with my shirt off, man. Look at how amazing he looks.
No,
yeah, man, he's all ripped up and stuff, man. I'll tell you. But you take a look at Tompkins, the leader, the heartbeat of this team, of the defensive line. There's no guy that I'd want right now. Honestly, look from top to bottom. Yeah, you got the 300-pound Alabama guys and this and that. But when it comes to pros, in the pros, who translate better than no one translate better than USC players in the pros. The productive pros. Look at the list. We're all on rosters being productive. Defensive end, Ruben Bain. I wasn't, they kind of, Louisville kind of took him out of the game last week. I wanted to go Shelby, but I thought Preston was going to pick Shelby, to be honest with you. And linebacker, we all know Gentry's the greatest. Gentry's probably one of the most rare breed, greatest probably since I've seen since probably Lawrence Taylor when it comes to God-given ability. I'm not saying he's Lawrence Taylor. I'm saying his God-given ability to be able to do everything. That's like Lawrence. Lawrence could have been a tight end. He was that great. Lawrence, honestly, was one of the first defensive players to ever win MVP. He was that great. Just the ability to knock balls down, catch them, everything. So Gentry's there. But Aiden Fisher, folks, take a look at what this kid's doing at Indiana. He's leading this team. He's shutting down these big-time programs just with his fire, his ferocity. There's probably one of the best, right behind Gentry as the best linebacker there. And then our safety, obviously, we got Fitz, man. That's what you'd be able to believe in America. Take notice because Fitz is one of the most versatile guys out there. He's in the pass rush. He's ball hawking balls out of the air. And then our last guy is Chris Johnson from San Diego State. That's right. San Diego State players do translate to the NFL, and this kid's one of them. He's about close to 6 foot. He's a really tough kid. Had to make his way all the way to where he's at right now and look for him to be playing on Sundays. He's a great kid, and he's a California boy. Let's go ahead and root for these California boys, man. And there you go.
Boom! Boom! Polys and midseason All-Americans, man. And hey, man, I'm gonna get into mine, man.
Let's go.
There's a couple of people I died on this list, man. I'm gonna start my man Fernando Mendoza, right? Hey, I was an Indiana doubter, man. People told me, "Oh, this team's gonna beat Oregon. This team's gonna beat Penn State." They still got Penn State to go, but let's be honest, Penn State's looking pretty spooky right now. Lost their head coach, starting quarterback's injured. But Fernando Mendoza, man, 1,400 yards, 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the season. Gets that big signature win last week at Oregon. At my running back spot, I'm not gonna mention this man's name, obviously for various reasons, bro. But your eyes. I'm not gonna speak on that. Not today. Can't speak on it today. At the wide receiver position, Makai Lemon, bro. Clearly the number 1 wide receiver in the country. It's not even close. Talked about in the offseason how this guy was gonna take another jump, bro. And he has just made me look like a genius, right? Been balling out, 682 yards, 6 touchdowns, 15.5 yards per reception, man. Going to work. At the tight end spot, I got Kenyon Sadiq, right? 17 receptions, 3 touchdowns, 13 yards per reception, man. Just kind of a crazy weapon at the tight end position. He obviously plays for a program that I absolutely despise as well, but I'll give him a little bit of love today at the tight end spot. At the defensive tackle spot, I got Peter Woods, man. Big, nasty defensive tackle out there at Clemson. Clemson's been struggling, throughout the entire season, but he's been very consistent at the line of scrimmage, a sack and a half and 18 tackles. At the defensive line spot, you said I was going to go with Shelby. Shelby is my guy, man. I love Brandon Shelby. I love Trojans. I would love to have this all stacked up with Trojans, but I had to, keep it, kind of realistic with some of these picks here, man. David Bailey, a dude that could have been a Trojan, right? He opted to go to Stanford and then ends up at Texas Tech now. Took the bag. But this is a guy right now that has 8.5 sacks in the season, man. Texas Tech has been going to work, balling, having a really good year. 17 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. So I think he is really performing at an All-American clip right now out of Texas Tech. At linebacker, man, I got Gentry, man. And today is a day for Gentry to make plays, bro.
This is
big
it.
time. You know what they say, man. Big time players make big time plays in big time games. You saw him make the big time. We've been seeing him make big time plays his entire career. Whether it was 2 years ago, whether it was last year, whether it was this year.
Last week.
Fumbles. Yeah, last week. The dude makes plays when you need him to the most. When the team needs it the most, he steps up. He's been leading this team. Through the ups and downs of the season, man. He is the leader. He is the guy that the young guys look towards and, ask questions towards and, kind of just gets them ready for the college football experience and going into these games, going into these battles, man. So I got my guy Eric Gentry, right? 35 tackles in the season, 3 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, man. Has been balling. At the safety spot, I got Bish, man. Showtime Bish, man. 24 tackles, 5 picks, one pass deflected. And then at the cornerback spot, I got another Indiana.
I love this kid.
Another Indiana Hoosier, man, who is performing at an unbelievable level, man. 19 tackles, 4 interceptions on the season, and one pass defense, man. So those are my midseason guys right there.
This is a great list, man. The corner, especially when I look at Indiana, I look at the way these guys are balling out. It's guys like the guy young kid you just mentioned. He's a 5'9" cornerback, old school, smaller guy, physicality off the charts. But the reason I picked the guy, I'm gonna make this clear to people. I picked the guys that I picked because I'm big about programs that translate players to the NFL. And you look at guys like that. Like for me, I don't put a lot of Clemson players on because they really don't translate well. Alabama players are kind of hit and miss, to be honest with you. I mean, you really look at it. I mean, yeah, some do, some don't. But you look at Romello Height. He's over here balling out over at Texas Tech. And I think a big reason, a part of it, is because he had that SC experience. But he knew, he was, his playing time was going to be cut into, and he had to go, basically, right? Is that how it went with Romello? But you know what? I look at these guys that you got, man, and they're solid. Gentry, this is his time. Guys like him and Lemon, I really want them to have that one moment, man. This program deserves it. These players deserve it. The coach deserves it. The coaching staff, the fan, all of us. I want to be able to experience that with these guys. They're such great players and loyal players.
Absolutely, man. That's why fandom is so great, man. It's the ups and downs, man. It's proving people wrong. It's just putting yourself out there, man. Putting everything on the line for what the unknown at times, man. But you have to have faith. You have to see the progression. You have to see the trajectory, the improvements that a team is making, a coaching staff is making. And hey, man, we're a few hours away, bro. But I think today it's really going down.
It's going down.
To get back to USC. Notre Dame stuff, man. We're kind of just compiled some of our favorite moments in the rivalry, and I'll start off here, man. I got my favorite moments. I had to kind of combine a couple things. I am a little younger. I started watching this rivalry, and I was like 10 years old. I was like damn near 10 years old, 12 years old in 2005 when the Bush Push went down.
I love number 3, man. That's good.
Yeah, Bush Push for me, and I combined Bush Push and 4th and 9. Obviously, same game. But Bush Push, man, is just obviously that's a top moment for me, man. I can go through it every time, bro. Them growing out the grass. I remember their whole team. They had Samardzija over there. The offensive lineman Brady
Charlie Weiss,
big wobbly behind at the coaching spot. They thought they won the game. The ball flies out of bounds. Liner, sneaks in. He's looking at coach like, hey, you want to go for it or not? He goes in there. Reggie pushes us in, and the rest is history, man. USC wins on the road.
How about Dwayne Jarrett with one eye making that catch?
Yeah, exactly. One eye, couldn't even see it. Catches that ball on that 4th and 9, unbelievable. Number 2 spot, man. I got Kush with the onside return. Just the way that went down and the way Kush was running. And how he jumped and fell into the end zone. And everybody was kind of holding him when he was in the end zone. I just always loved that. Dory Jackson, man, with the hat trick in that game. That 97-yard kick return where he's jumping over the Notre Dame player that tries to go for his legs, jumps over, gets in the end zone. And then number 4, man, Caleb Williams in 2022. Yeah, in 2022, that 2nd and 13 play, man, where he was diving around, making guys miss. Sliding at the end and picking up the first down, man. Those are my 4 USC moments right there. So, Paulie, let me get to your stuff here.
Yeah, I just want to make it very clear. I wasn't around when in 1931. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I know I look old, but I think my body looks like Devin Tompkins. To be honest with you, look at this, man. Anyway, so Frank Jordan's game-winning 37-yard field goal. There was hardly any time left. The Trojans come out for 5 consecutive plays to get them in field goal position to win that game and snap that winning streak. Ron Paulus, Mr. 3 Heisman's they were predicted to win 3 Heismans. The guy didn't win 1. But you know what? He was kind of a pompous, kind of a pretentious, kind of like a pretentious prick, bro. He was awful, man. The guy was a punk. And then have that batted down. And for us to be able to take that game, that was a huge moment for us. It also stopped another streak. And 1931 game, which is the one that catapulted us into, it was the first time no one took us, this ragtag motley crew group of players from the West Coast, serious. They thought we weren't even comparable to them in the Midwest and some places in the East when it came to football. So you know what? We went to South Bend, and in 1931, this was the game that catapulted us into national prominence, and it was history from there, because you know what, that just made us who we are, man. We went and showed the world that what California football is all about.
No doubt, no doubt. So let's get to some of our favorite individual performances. Man, mine, a couple of mine. Actually, I'll let you kind of hand this off, and then
Okay.
I'll go secondly here.
Okay, yeah. Obviously 2002 Carson Palmer. The stats. I mean, this is I've never been a stat guy. I go by more by emotion and impact in the game. But I mean, Carson, what he did was it's phenomenal, man. And then the juice. I don't care what people say about the juice, man. One of the most amazing and unique running styles in the history of college football and the pros. And obviously to him make an impact every time he touched the field, man. It was such a beautiful thing to watch. And as a kid growing up, he was one of my favorite players. And that's right. That's it. Now that ages me. I was old, dude. I was old when I was watching those Avis rent-a-car commercials with Juice.
Hey, man. That's why the show is so great, man. I need to learn, bro. I need to brush up on my USC history.
Yeah. And then the 1997 team, just a bunch of ragtag players there. I think I don't know if Melvin Simmons was on that team or not, but it was just a different group of players, man. And I those are the ones I root for. The ones who least expect, and that's why when on my top 3 list, I just picked the last one I picked was just it's people that you least expect. They're struggling or there's certain teams. It doesn't matter in this rivalry. We could be 1-4, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, man. It can happen at any point. My best performance is right. I'm going back to that.
Dory, I love that one
with my guy Reggie, bro. Obviously, Bush push. We talked about that, but Reggie had a great game that game, man. 3 touchdowns, 160 yards. He had some big time plays, so I got that at number 1. You could. These are all interchangeable at the end of the day, right? You could probably put a Dory one. You could put a Caleb one, but I got Caleb Williams in 2022 with 4 touchdowns, man. Big time performance in the Coliseum, man. That was legendary. That was an awesome night at the Coliseum as well, man. I would have loved to have been there for that game. Definitely watched it on TV though. And then Adoree Jackson, man. 2016 punt return with the kick return, throws up the hat trick in 2016, man, against the Leprechauns. Big time performance, man. And yeah, man, I missed that dude being in the Cardinal Gold. Like that was a weapon right there to Jay Sarah. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, shouts out to Adoree, man.
Dory, one of the most beautiful styles of running, and I love the smooth strides, man. I really do, and it just it just doesn't get any. He's still playing in the league.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to tell people. Yeah. Look at what SC players do. They stick around. They're productive, and they're great pros. Oh, you don't have any stars. I mean, what Pittman? I mean, London. I mean,
right. They're all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, they're all over the place.
Yeah. That's why you saw a lot of NFL players this week wearing USC Trojan stuff because they lost bets to Trojans, man.
Yeah, man. I was sitting next to him at the game. It must have been like the former player area. I was right next to these guys. Yeah. I'm over there shaking with Mason Cobb and all these guys. And I'm like, man, these guys were proud to be Trojans, man. I was fired up on Saturday. I was on 10. I loved it.
Exactly. So okay, before we get into the picks for the day for this week,
I'm with Robert on this one.
Yeah, we could talk. Shouts out to Robert, man. Shouts out to Jake, to Uncle Walnuts, and Prince Preston in the building.
Yeah, my boy Armando as well, and just big everybody out there.
Yeah,
Jake, yeah.
Robert Foss, big game today. No turnovers in the red zone today. Need to play better than last week. 100%, man. 38-24, like that. That's solid. That's a
solid.
Good prediction. I can't be mad at that. Nice victory there. Yeah. But let's talk about Lincoln Riley, top 10 coach. This is something that you thought you wanted to kind of discuss last week. We didn't have the show last week. For me, this is what I'll say. I mean, I think the answer for me is obviously I think Lincoln is a 10-win coach. But this season, man, in the offseason, everything that we thought Lincoln should be doing, everything we asked Lincoln to do, he's done, man. And the offseason talk about running the ball. We're running the ball more times than we're passing the ball at this clip right now, at this point right now. You see the success of the offense. You see him utilizing all the weapons and all the guys he recruited at the tight end position, all the running backs, the intricate, pass tree, the route trees that the receivers are able to get into in this offense, man. And the guy knows how to coach and improve quarterback play, man. You see the jump that Jayden Maiava has made in the offseason from what he was doing last season. I got no complaints from him, man. I think he's done everything to perfection this season. some fans complain about, a certain time situation that happened a few weeks ago. That was not something that I had an issue with. Other than that, man, Lincoln has done excellent. And I thought coming into this season, he was probably going to have the best, coaching performance he's had throughout his entire career, man. So I think it's definitely a top 10 coach, man. I'm happy for how we're trending and, the type of game plans he's been coming into, and coaching these guys up to week in, week out this season.
I loved how Lincoln, well, I mean, you all know how I feel about him. And I felt like this ever since he was at Oklahoma. There's a reason why coaches from all over the NFL were coming in and sitting with him for hours going over film and trying to pick his brain. I mean, there's a reason when top-notch coaches do that, even coaches, your own peers, Sabins and all these guys, they come and they sit with him and try to learn from him. I mean, that right there should tell you enough of who this man is. But what I've seen is just not the X's and O's side of it, which is absolutely beautiful. It's a really beautiful thing to watch. If you sit back and you watch that, I like how he shoved it in our faces when everybody was giving him a tough time for that 2-minute drill over in Illinois. And the same play before halftime where he tossed it over to Mekhi Lemon. Kristen and I noticed that, and B Jinx, and we were talking about it, and sure enough, he ran that same drill that he marched it right down the field. Same exact play to Mekhi to go into halftime with the lead, with a nice cushy lead like that. I mean, you got to really, really take your hat off to him. And then just the balance of what he's been able to do with the running, the wide receivers seem to be on point right now, and we're okay. When guys are ready to step up, they'll step up. The amount of practice and the learning that they're providing for, like a Tanook Hines and getting these guys involved, these young guys. I'm telling you now, this 2026 class, these freshmen are going to be different. These young kids are going to be different. College football players, they're all reclassifying and coming in early now. This is no more sitting around anymore. You got to play and be able to adapt immediately. And what better guy, man? He's putting on a clinic when it comes to putting these young guys out there and putting them in certain situations and having faith in them. I just love him, man. And more so what he does outside of coaching. I mean, just being able to be an example out in the community, and our players are never in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as you never hear them causing any issues academically. The guys are, like, honestly good community guys. Look at what Beavers does out there. That guy should be humanitarian of the year in the country. He's such a great kid. And so enough of this. We need killers. We need killers. Well, you know what, man? I'm riding with this team that we got, and thank you, Coach, for putting us in it, for evolving and showing us, man, what you're capable of doing. Because I believe in you, man. I really do, and I'm riding with Coach to the end. I really am.
Absolutely, man. I'm in for the long haul. It's year 4, and hey, right now we're looking pretty good, man. I got this
looking all right.
A 10-win team, man. I think we're improving. We're trending upward, and I think today is definitely going down. So as we get to the picks here, man, I got to update that. I wasn't able to update that thing on the bottom, but these are the current standings because we didn't do it last week. So these are the current standings right now. I'm 27-24. You're 23-28. Going into this week, and these are the games we're picking on right here, man. Because I put this together at the last moment. So
let's go. I'm ready whenever you are.
Let me jot this up real quick. We got LSU and Vandy, man. I liked what I saw from LSU against Alabama. I mean, from Vandy against Alabama, man. But I got LSU today winning this game, brother.
Yeah.
What you going with?
I got LSU showing the world that they're an absolute fraud and they're not a legitimate team. And I'm going with Vandy to win this at home. Okay. This team, I believe in this team. I think that they think they're the best team in the country, man. Mm-hmm. That's how they ride. Even though they're probably not, I'm riding with Vanderbilt on this one.
Okay, I like it. So you got Vanderbilt in that one. Okay, now we got Georgia Tech and Duke. I've lost to Georgia Tech like about 3-4 times this year. I've learned my lesson, man. Haynes King is a real one. I almost want to put Haynes King as my All-American quarterback, to be honest with you. I don't know how he does it, but he's an unstoppable force with his legs, bro. He cannot be stopped. And he's just like he's a superhero, bro. He doesn't get hurt or anything. Like, it's incredible. So I got Georgia Tech and Haynes King being Duke. I know a lot of people think it's my
I've been picking Georgia. I've been picking Georgia Tech all year long, and they haven't let me down, man. And I hope they enjoy their coach because he's pretty much gone after this year. This guy's
ending up in Penn State next year.
Yeah. I'm telling you, difference maker everywhere he's been. I mean, he just knows how to turn these programs around. And what better look at, like I said, the last time Georgia Tech's been relevant was when Bobby Hamilton was at quarterback there. So they're definitely my pick on that one there.
Yeah. All right. So Washington, Michigan. I thought about this for a little bit, man, but I think Michigan's gonna kind of bounce back. They are at home. I think if this game was in Washington, I would probably lean that way. But I'm going to go with the Wolverines, kind of bouncing back after the beatdown to the USC Trojans from last week. I think they bounced back. Everybody calling them soft. Y'all got beat up by the boys out west, the surfer boys. So they're probably dealing with a lot right now. Their coach is putting on work shirts, talking about ready to get back to work and whatnot. And his seat is kind of heating up as well. Shout out to my man, Sharon Moore.
Sharon Moore, man. Yeah. Sharon Moore. That's what happens when you come and you open your mouth, dude, over here.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
the Michigan fans in the stands saw you get your ass beat. So
telephone tough guy over here. He's Sharon. Let me tell you one thing. I hope all you Michigan fans that were sitting around me listen, man, and you spread the word like I asked you. I specifically asked Michigan fans, make sure you let the Big Ten know that there's no soft football out here in California. And so, but to their credit, such amazing fans. The fans I sat around, great guys, all shook hands after the game, like we people should be. You be classy about it in winning and in defeat. And you know what great way to go out like that, man. We all shook hands. Even a couple guys, we even gave each other hugs, man. It was like a really, really, really great experience. So I'm going with Michigan.
Nice. Utah, BYU. This is kind of a weird game. And I hate to pick this team because they've brought me so much misery, but I like Utah in this one on the road. I think they have a little bit more speed, more team speed, more talent. I'm on the offensive side of the ball, so I'm picking the Utes over these Cougars.
It's gonna be a really, they're two boring teams to watch, and and it's just like this is the one right here where I'll probably be drooling on my shirt or something, man, for watching this one here. But I'm going with BYU. Just because Kalani Sitake to me is one of the really just great and unappreciated coaches out there. So I'm going BYU.
All right, Tennessee, Bama. Tennessee. I've been talking about. I really like the quarterback over there. Like those wide receivers as well. So I'm Rocky Top today, man, over Bama, man. I think Bama might burn after this one right now, but I got Rocky Top on the road. Against Alabama today, brother.
You know what? I know everybody's everybody. Oh, look, I'm sorry. I just read that Hutchinson lost a bet to Amra and had to wear a SC shirt.
I saw that. That's
but anyways, but really quickly, I think even though people say Alabama's unbeatable at home, I think Tennessee and Josh Heupel are going to put together a really great game plan, and I'm going with Tennessee.
Okay. Probably going Tennessee, man. You surprised me on that one.
Yeah, just because I don't know, Heupel just pulls one out of his rear end once in a while, just like he did when he won the national championship with Oklahoma that one year.
No doubt. Our boy Jamie, man, he be traveling around the world to see these shows. He's gonna be out in South Bend. Yo, good luck to you, bro.
Good luck, Jamie.
I think we're gonna be all right, man. I don't think it's gonna be like the last time I was in South Bend, man. I hate that place, brother. But I think we're gonna come out of there happy today.
It's kind of dumb, right? I mean, it's
just weird. It's in the middle of nowhere, bro.
It's kind of like Happy Valley, right? Just like out in the middle of nowhere.
2.5 hours to the woods to go to some fake Harry Potter land to watch football. But whatever. USC Notre Dame, man. Let's just get to the predictions, man. I really got us popping out fast. I got faith in the defense, man. I think we're going to get some turnovers. I think we win the turnover battle today. I think we're able to run the ball at a pretty successful clip. I'm not saying we're going to run for 300-plus yards, but I think we get close to the 200-yard mark, and I think Jaden takes care of the ball. I think I like our wide receivers a lot more than I like their wide receivers, and I definitely am taking our wide receivers over their DBs and their secondary, man. I got USC coming out winning this game today. 34-27 on the road in South Bend. I think we have the lead going into the fourth quarter, man. Our defense, makes a stop, man, and we're able to, kind of finish the game kneeling the football in victory formation, man. So that's what I got going on today for USC Notre Dame, man. What's your prediction?
Wait, I'm just cracking up at this one guy over here in the chat over here saying,
Beto, we don't. Hey, Beto, bro, we know you're UCLA fan, you're a Notre Dame fan, you're not a USC fan, brother. Like, and if you feel offensive, you can unsubscribe from my channel, bro. Like, take that negativity somewhere else, brother. Like, I'm really tired of seeing your comments, bro.
I don't even know who that is. Dude.
I don't. You're not a USC fan in my eyes, bro. So you want to talk about Notre Dame? You think we're gonna lose the game? You were the same person that said Michigan was gonna run for 270 plus yards on us last week, and you were completely wrong. So I'm happy that you keep saying that we're gonna get beat by Notre Dame, bro. Keep saying it because you're completely wrong last week. So that's all I gotta say, bro. Let's continue.
Yeah, enough of that, man. I'm not even gonna acknowledge that, bro. But because let's see. So I'm going SC. I'm going SC. I think we win by a touchdown and a field goal. And so you can whatever score it is. I can't tell you. I don't know. I'm not good at that. But one thing I can tell you is I think we're probably going to shock people a little bit with our ability to play balanced football. So I'm going with SC by a touchdown and a field goal. So
definitely. And Oklahoma, South Carolina, man, you know where I'm going with this one. Oklahoma, Mateer's not back if I'm not mistaken. But at the end of the day, brother, like I got USC, bro. I got not USC. I got South Carolina. I don't even know why I say USC. I apologize to everybody in the chat for that. But I got South Carolina winning that game against Oklahoma. It's on the road. The Norris Sellers, man, shouts out to him. And I got him going to work in this one, bro.
I really think this is the return of Lenore Sellers, man. You know, there's a lot riding on this for this program in particular. And I know OU is just not there. I've never been a believer in John Mateer. I've never been a believer in Venables. and just that program is really not where everybody thinks it is. I mean, yeah, they've had a really brutal schedule. They played some tough teams, but I'm going with South Carolina.
Yeah, for sure. Feeling good, baby. What we got here? We got Dubs TV saying 31-27. Got it. That looks nice, man. We spinning the block, bro. Yes, sir. We definitely spinning the block since 2023, bro. We definitely back, ready to go. Shouts out to y'all, man. Brother Dave in the chat says 35-14 USC. Woo! Bro. I hope you're correct, bro, because it's gonna be a beautiful, non-stressful day in my house. So that goes down, bro. Honestly, a 35-14 victory, like that'll shut me up for real, man.
Yeah, man, that'll shut the entire. I don't know. Maybe we'll still have fans that'll say, "Oh no, Riley needs to prove more."
No, you already know. It's already it's gonna be people in the chat like my man Beto, bro. That no matter what happens, they gonna have something negative to say, man. No, that's how it rocks, bro. But let's get us going. Let me bring us back in here. And yeah, you already know what we're gonna do, man. Little tradition, man, because we're going to war, brother. Back on it.
My name is Maximus Decimus Aurelius, commander of the armies of the Trojans of the West. Of the Felix Legion.
No, it's happening, baby. Yeah. This is going down. USC, Notre Dame, man.
Here we go. It's going down, folks, today, man.
We're going to war, man. You know, shouts out everybody for coming through today, man. Yeah. You know where to find us, man. We're doing this show. We're doing this show every week, every Saturday. Well, this last week I was on it. Some of you guys said Paul Jordan.
Take the family out of the house. Focus. You need focus today with our fans. Take everyone around you that's going to bother you and interrupt you. Focus on this game. Put positive energy towards it. No negativity here, man. You know what? You're going to root for this team, and we're going down with them, or either winning this team with them or going down with them. Either way, it's going to be a battle. No one's getting punched on the ground today. I'll tell you that right now. If anybody gets punched, Kevin Thompson's going out there and laying them out. It reminds me of it. You know what? Better yet, if anyone gets punched, I want a reminder of 1971 when the Trojans played Notre Dame and they fought for 20 minutes. It was a 20-minute fight until it was broken up. That's what I want. I want that same fire and intensity today out of our team, and we're going to get it. You think Rob Bryant's not firing these guys up? You think this defense isn't ready? We're ready, folks. And watch
No
out,
doubt.
America. Jaden's having his coming out party today. That's right. I said it.
The Heisman victory, I mean, the Heisman moments are going down today, man. Hey, it is what it is. Everybody in the chat, y'all saying y'all USC fan. Beto now saying he's a USC fan. Hey, I hope you're wrong. You hope you're wrong. We going after today, man. Hey, some people just look at things differently, so it is what it is, man. Fight on. You know where to find us, bro. You find me on YouTube, Preston's Paradise, man. Posting videos talking about USC. Follow the show. You can follow my man Paulie Walnuts on his channel at
Calling the Shots podcast with Paulie Walnuts on YouTube. You could find all my social media platforms on the index there. And tonight, check into 4th and 9 with Kristen and B Jinx. I'll put the link out. I'll post it on social media. You guys come in and say hello. Stop by and say hello. Give the show some love. And we're going to be doing a live watch. We're going to be watching the game live. So come in and watch the game with us. Have a good time. And you know what? Let's bring that positivity, man, and let's help each other out through this game. It's going to be a good one, guys. I don't think it's going to be as bad as people think it's going to be. We're going to go ahead and we're going to show these guys that USC is back, man.
You already know, baby. Hey, fight on, everybody, man. Have a good day. Let's get this victory, man.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Beat the Irish, man. Let's go.